What's up, guys and gals? Red Icing finally back again with some explanation and theories about Persona 5. Again. Not that I'm getting tired of it, just the intro is starting to get repetitive. Anyways, today's topics are a lot of things, but with a focus on the sins, Cavum and Irritum. Before I start on those, I need to say a few things about other topics, so the comics section will be a little bit more focused on the subject at hand. Disclaimers need to be said for this video. I am in no way an expert, just a fan and a researcher. I may make some mistakes, so if you see one, point it out immediately and I will put a correction in the annotations. That said, leave annotations on. A lot of explanations in this video are based around theory, so don't take anything as concrete evidence. Also, check the date, as new info may make this video outdated, as it has happened a few times on the channel already. The last disclaimer needed is some of the theories could be spoilers to Persona 5, so if you care about that, avoid this video. If you want to skip the other topic explanations and get to the last two sins immediately, there will be a link in the description to skip to that portion. First, let's talk about the stuff that has happened in the last few weeks. There's a lot of theories I want to cover. The Enneagram of Personality, Futaba's link to the Sphinx boss, the police chief theory, the Germanic Tales theory, and the list goes on and on and on. If I have time before September 15th, I will make these theories. Also, Goro has not been confirmed to have, but heavily rumored to have, a Plague Doctor mask, thanks to a short in-house demo. What it means for his persona, I cannot say as of yet, but I'm still looking into it because it'd be cool if the channel could guess a persona like it did before. Also, please check out AtlasTube on YouTube. There are almost daily videos now. If you haven't subbed to that channel, I suggest you do it, as they have started focusing on what goes on during cooperation links a little more than usual. Okay, now we can finally get into the meanings of Cavum and Irritum. Let's start with the prior, as it is easier to explain. Cavum has a few easy translations. Most involve a cave or some sort of pit, but for the sake of being a sin, the translations of depression, hollow, and pointlessness fit better. When Cavum and Irritum popped up, it turned the 7 deadly sins into an odd version of the Roman 9. The closest on the Roman 9 to Cavum is dejection. Dejection simply means to give up on everything and or remove yourself from society. It was a sin placed on the list to help prevent suicide and to ridicule people who survive off the work that others do instead of working themselves. So in some cases, it's related to sloth. It is for those who feel they really have nothing left to live for and just give up, whether it be killing oneself or being a burden on others. Now for Irritum and how it translates to the subject of Persona 5. It has multiple definitions, and some are contradictory depending on how the word is used. It can cover vanity, a sin that was absorbed into pride when the sins list became 7. It can also describe how people feel self-worthless, or have a feeling that other people are worthless. I wonder how that second one could fit into the Persona series. One last definition, and the possible most important definition of it, is void. Void can mean a lot of things. It can mean depression or feeling nothing, but we already have Cavum for that. However, the importance of void comes from the more negative translation, which means nothingness, or the creation of nothingness, the destruction of everything and creating pure nothingness. Another big clue. So how do these two sins fit in? Well, first, we'll have to talk about the importance of their inclusion. The first time the 7 deadly sins showed up, it was the basic 7 with Irritum. The next trailer that featured the sins included Cavum. This suggests that they are more important than the basic 7 we already know. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, we're in the theory portion, because the next part is truly speculation. As a plot device, Cavum should come before Irritum. Cavum in plot use describes, Barry, could you help me out?
The all is lost moment!
Taking this into our minds and including the fact that bosses all have one of the 9 sins attributed to them, the all is lost moment describes the second to last boss, when even in victory you meet defeat. This sets up the last boss to be Irritum, which could create the destruction caused by the void translation. However, we must consider the opposite as well. If Irritum could be before Cavum, it could also make sense as Cavum could be brought on by the sin of void, the world falling apart around you and the final boss either being a human conduit controlled by an otherworldly final boss, or being that otherworldly final boss entity itself trying to convince you that all is lost. Describing the pointlessness of your struggle and how everything is eventually doomed to become nothing after Irritum acted as a catalyst to set the end of the world in motion. Then, Cavum starts to act as a realist to the situation. So if we follow the mentioned reasoning, it leads us to the conclusion that the boss of Cavum is somehow related to the boss of Irritum. One to create or point out the all is lost moment, and another that sets the end of the world in motion, or the other way around. It's just a theory but has the potential to create tension if done right. Along the lines of translation, there is a wide spread of ways the developers and writers could bend Cavum and Irritum to fit their needs, and I could be way off the ball. At least the importance of the translations have been mentioned in this video, and some of you can derive your own theories off of that. One last thing before I get to my usual conclusion statement. These two sins are the reason why I still think the Sphinx boss has a chance of being Pride. Wrath is my second choice for the Sphinx boss. However, the inclusion of these two new sins throws a wrench into the machine by having sins that sound like mixtures of the current 7 deadly sins we all know, and only the game will truly tell us what is right and what is wrong, because Persona Studios sure as hell aren't telling us. Well, that's the end of the video, guys and gals, and I hope you like it. I'm gonna try to keep on making videos. I'm just really busy right now. If I made a mistake or forgot something, please point it out in the comments and I will put a correction in the annotations. I would also like to hear your theories, skepticism, and questions in the comments as well. If you want me to reply to them, start off the comment with red and I'll get back to you. Right now I'd like to send a thanks to all who watched and a special shout out to Fosizzle, Crosspaw, Domination Kid, John Awesome, White Song, and anyone else who is helping in the theory community, especially the commenters on all videos and forums. Again, I cannot think of a closer, so
goodbye.